Hello, Deb here from Slap Happy Sewing. Just want to have a little quick check-in with you. I'm about to go on holiday. I'm going to tell you a bit about what I'm planning to do while I'm away, and I just want to show you a couple of blouses, so stay tuned. Hi everyone. So what's going on in my world? Well, I have been doing a bit of making. Really what I've been doing is, I think I've been doing this for a while, is going through my fabrics, and some of the more bizarre ones I've been thinking about what I could make them into. So this one I've got on, I think I like this fabric, I'm not sure. But I've made it into a Rhapsody blouse, and I'll show you in a sec the how it looks. And I've also made this one. So that one is I kind of like that fabric actually made up, but it's funny because it's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got like glitter in it. I wonder if the glitter will last. But anyway, I've made two Rhapsody blouses. This time I've changed it a little bit in that I wanted to make long sleeve blouses so I could wear something underneath them. They're both extremely thin fabric. I altered the shoulders because in my last ones that I made, I thought I made the shoulders a little bit big. So I think I made an XL in the shoulders and then graded out to an XXL. But then I found, I never usually lengthen the sleeves much of anything, but then I found both of them, the sleeves weren't long enough. So I had to sort of lengthen the sleeves on this one. And this one, I did actually lengthen the pattern, but it still was barely long enough. So I had to put some bias binding on just to turn it up as little as possible. That was for the bishop sleeve. But overall, I do like these blouses and I am happy with them. It's a little bit cold at the moment to be wearing them. So that's what I've been doing. I've been working quite a lot, so I haven't done a whole lot of sewing. But I want to tell you about my holiday. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be my birthday next week, and it's an important birthday. We won't go into which one that is. But I had hoped this winter to get myself to Australia because I have lived in New Zealand since 2003 and never actually managed to get myself to Australia. Largely because I've worked a lot since I've been here. Anyway, so I thought this is the year, this is the year. Well, this is not the year because I was so hopeful really up until a couple of weeks ago that we might get the borders open. There was talk about Australia and New Zealand having their own travel bubble, blah, blah, blah. But Australia's had quite an outbreak in Melbourne, and I think there's a bit in Sydney too. Actually, we've got a little mini outbreak too in Auckland, though they're doing great work. Auckland is what we call level 2, but the rest of the country, apart from a couple of cases that they can trace back to Auckland, we're still pretty COVID free. So with all my travel ideas and plans just turned to custard, I had the time booked off, and I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go on a retreat. Well, that got cancelled because of the outbreak in Auckland. So what we've come to now is, well, because our tourism sector is so badly hit by COVID, the government's been encouraging us New Zealand people to go and, visit places and to spend some money with tourism operators. And the tourism operators have come to the party. So what we're doing is there's a deal on whereby you can hire a camper van and you can stay at a holiday park, and I think it's less than $100. I think it's about $80 for the night. And obviously for two people to have a camper van in a holiday park, that's pretty good value. Bear in mind though, it is winter here, so I'm sure they wouldn't normally be letting things out. I think what they're doing is just trying to keep cash flow going because they don't know what's going to happen when the summer comes, spring and summer comes. So anyway, we've come to that. We've been thinking about buying a camper van for a while. In New Zealand, a camper van is actually a very good idea because a lot of New Zealand is kind of remote and rural, and it's not like when you live in Britain and you go somewhere and maybe you go to the seaside and there'll be a little pub there or something. Here, you pretty much have to take all your food and drink with you, and and a lot of places there's really nothing there. There might be a hut there or something, but there really isn't anything. So a camper van is actually a good idea, but I believe they're expensive everywhere, but they're particularly expensive here. I had a camper van when I was young, when I was in my late 20s, and I had 2 little children, and I had great fun with it actually, but that was in my first marriage. And yeah, I mean, we went to France. It was good, but it was a very small camper van. But of course, when I think back about how much fun it was then, I'm not sure that I would find it so much fun now because I'm older and I don't sleep so well and I'm not as agile as I used to be. So anyway, when someone at work told me about this camper van deal, and when I mentioned it to my husband, he jumped at it. He was really, really happy because we have sort of said, you know, we should hire a camper van and see if we really like it. And if at the end of the week, we do like it, especially as it's winter here, so the weather's liable to be a bit up and down, then we know that probably we could have a camper van and we could be okay. Though between you and me, I'd rather have one in Europe than I would here, but hey, we won't go there. Anyway, so I'm getting packed to go away. I'm feeling a little nervous. I don't know, do you feel like this when you go on holiday? I just feel like I've actually generally that when I'm packing and getting ready for holiday and thinking about leaving the house, actually my son's staying here, which is a help, but it always makes me feel kind of anxious. I'm much better once I've gone quite far from home, and then I tend to relax. So but I'm in anxious phase at the moment, so if I'm rabbiting and waffling a bit, that's why. Anyway, so I was thinking about, well, okay, I need a little quest or something to do for this trip. And a while ago, I had actually heard of this years ago when I first came to New Zealand. There's this book here called Crafty Girls Road Trip, and I found this copy in a charity shop, but I had heard of it when it came out in 2004. So it's years and years old, and it mentions all the little sort of op shops and crafty places you could stop at in New Zealand. I think it was updated in 2012, but even 2012 is 8 years ago, so it's quite likely that a lot of the businesses aren't going. But I'm going to take the book with me and see if any of these places still are there. And also to inspire me, I'm going to try and do a little filming when I see nice little crafty places and things that, you know, relate to sewing and crafting that might interest you too. So yeah, I probably won't get the video out until next weekend because although I can film it, I haven't got a laptop to edit it on. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm definitely going to take you with me and show you some of the things that I see, because it makes it more fun for me to think about sharing it with you. So yeah, so for projects, I thought, what can I do while I'm away? Well, obviously I haven't got a sewing machine or anything, but I did think about I've had these 2 patterns for a long time, and I thought, oh, this would be a nice little project. So I'm going to take this away with me. This a little pattern, Simplicity 1601. I think they're all handmade felt flowers. Aren't they sweet down there? I've got some felt, and I thought, oh, that would be a good idea. That would be a fun thing to do. So yeah, felt flowers there. And there's also some on these headbands. I'll have a look at making some flowers for the headbands too. They're little projects that I've had for a while. Never get round to them, but might be just the thing for sitting in a camper van, especially if it's raining. Anyway, that's all for me now. Yeah, watch out for the next one. I'll take you with me. I think we're going to go from here to Napier and then maybe up to Gisborne because I think that's the best weather in the country. It often is the best weather in the country. And you can't go north of Auckland because Auckland sort of is shore to shore, and Auckland's all closed, so we can't get past Auckland to go up north. So we'll go on the East Cape. So yeah, I'll look forward to talking to you next week, and think of me this week, and I hope that we'll be enjoying ourselves in our camper van. My boss said, oh, I'd never think of going away with my family in a camper van. I said, well, it's only me and my husband. And I said, well, if you hear about a murder taking place in a camper van on the East Cape, then you'll know who it was. Actually, to be fair, my husband's just gone down to get the van, and he's been great, actually. So good start to the holiday. All right, I better go. I can't do much editing of this, so I hope I haven't waffled too much. Talk to you soon. Happy sewing. Bye.